went very interesting just to note. And today, this is also, I really learned a big lesson about sociality. So we're going to go ahead and begin with this simply. Morning period. Oddly enough, no one talked to me, and it went on for the entire zero period of this time. Like, it was just complete silence. So earlier in the morning, I didn't know what was going on. So I just sat in silence on my phone. And then later on in third period, I realized why they were so silent. So credit to the people who didn't want to be named for privacy reasons, but it's a big thing that we just learned. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and continue. First period. It went mostly well, and I was able to complete a Spanish diary and an assignment. They'd use past tenses, even though the teacher wanted us to use present tense because we're talking about the market. As I say, I learned Haber plus past participle because it is so much easier than Spanish pred, right? For things that we saw at a market using our vocab sheet just to write stuff down about it. So the boys did some funny things here and there, and I decided not to be comical this time because I'd waste a lot of time anyway. Second period, this was PE time. So the bad thing is that something super embarrassing happened to me is that as one of the tough kids kept playing around with me, the one that I talked about during finals day, if you guys want to scroll down on my channel or Instagram reels, I ended up farting as he surprise attacked me and he ran up toward me. Now believe me telling him like after that moment not to hit me again can easily get confused with belligerence, meaning like I don't want him to pat me because this is gonna happen versus like actually enforcing the boundary. So I just told him no because I know he's probably gonna take it as a joke. I don't know why he plays soft. I guess it's just the way of how things go. The craziest part is that later in our next unit of basketball, and I ended up playing with like two other girls nearby that still make drama with me here and there. They threw the basketball at me directly on my back one time, and I caught it. But another time they ended up throwing it on my back as I was behind them, and it ended up being like a big problem because they violated my boundary. Something in me, like my Ralph side from Lord of the Flies, just jumped in on her and just snatched the basketball like right back. Like the minute I got hit on the back, bro, is like my infinite version inside me just decided to just blow and just take it away from her, snatch it at that point. Like I'm not aggressive, but if someone throws something at me, then I'm gonna make sure to catch that basketball and actually make a shot, which I did actually make a shot later on. Personal action will be taken back, obviously. Anyway, so it did go great. I missed some, I gained some, and they gained some, they missed some too. So credit to those two girls. Now moving on to third period. Oddly enough, during this time, we took notes about water density and what was important about water differences between East and West Coast. Credit to Lynn for giving me the notes because right in the middle, I was sent to the dean's office at this time because it connects to something that happened during morning period. Why I got sent is because I've been naming people in videos I like to do about reflection, such as this one. And let's say that they didn't know they're going to be revealed and that parts of their conversation will be revealed and reflected about later on. I remember that I have no evil malice here. I just love to name and reflect videos, and then some people didn't like their name being mentioned on these videos. So I'll make a separate video about it because I don't want to deep into the complexity for a simple reflective video for today. The dean in the essentials told me like don't make this a problem and implicitly asked to remove certain names, give away certain topics, and just keep things silent sometimes. So I'll make sure that's done. For the rest of the class time, I did finish up the former notes from my former Socratic seminar partner. Now, fourth period, this is where it went mostly great again. We're about 75% done with the movie. I only have one more lunch period where I can attend first lunch, which is tomorrow. For third day of operation of first lunch today, the friend that I wanted to visit there wasn't there again, so I just hung out with the same friend. Credit to Ali, and most importantly, what I do want to know is that I did study for a little bit of science and I finished up an assignment. Of course, not to forget the Aurora experience, which is its own little universal metaphor that I talked about. This is something that's universal within my school, so if you guys want to DM me, please DM me about it, and if you guys want to know about it. Now, I then departed around 12:30, returning back to class and then finishing up a quiz later on. Lunch period, back to it. It went mostly fine. I did hear about some sort of senior water gun fight and how it cost like $10 just to enter. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm still yet to know more information about it. I might low key join it, but I don't know to be honest. The rest of the time, I just wrote for fun. I did some things here and there. As for fifth period, this was kind of funny this time. I joked to the teacher that if a student comes late and I say it 3 times that they're gonna come late. I didn't bet any coins today that there's gonna be late students, but I did say it like 3 times. And one did end up coming late, but only right at the bell. Later on, I read about the Stanford prison experiment and how the teacher thinks the government messed with it or is using it as some sort of experiment. She told us how after COVID, she thinks some things the government is hiding about. Some experiments the government has done at least is something. Some details have been revealed, at least what she said. She even joked that she saw Epstein in Tel Aviv last week, even though it is a joke to highlight emphasis. She said that some things too that the government definitely has had some sort of clandestine role in it. Some role the government has had in certain things that have happened. Not like the typical tinfoil alien hat, but certain experiments that they don't want to reveal. Like they had a role in that. So just practically what my teacher's saying. We did read about the Stanford experiment and how prisoners are more submissive and how officers become more assertive, showing how given roles, people can still end up acting aggressive. Yeah, anyway, and I heard something sweet at the end, unrelated, is that one girl said to a boy, quote unquote, "I would be happy to be your wife," quote unquote. And I found that so sweet because she said that to a local boy nearby. I think it was a joke at romance because they've always had this like high school musical romance for each other. It's kind of funny to be honest, but it's kind of sweet too at the same time. Anyways, back at our last period, I then completed a math assignment regarding A plus BI solutions, and I learned how I squared is equal to -1. And as for the problems, they're quite easy, and the teacher very much explained this simple and straightforward, with us having to do a few problems that I think we eventually finished in class. I also learned how AI plus BI, when paired with an opposite such as A minus BI, correct me if I'm wrong, that becomes a real solution. It's no longer imaginary. And then after that, as a result of the visit to the dean's office, I went home a little shaken because of the dean, though no punishment was given, though academically we're all clear. Nothing's really going on. So we're clear for that. Then I visited the beach with my mom at night and I saw the beautiful sunset. I met someone nearby that looked like he could play volleyball with me, but he eventually went away because he was busy doing some other thing. Though I did tell him that we're up to play sometime. Credits to you if you're watching this. And other than that, this is the end for this video, so I need to go edit this stuff right away. So see you guys.